If you're a professional service provider and your 2026 strategic plan does not include how you are going to incorporate AI as a major part of your service offering, or at least a major worker in your service offering, or a foundational piece of your service offering, you're going to struggle in 2026 and 2027 and beyond.
Welcome to Season 5 of Manage Self, Lead Others with host Nina Sunday. This season, as well as workplace culture, we're going deeper into embedding innovation, AI, and invisible patterns shaping how we lead. Each episode, bold thinkers join us to explore how to lead with intention, elevate team culture, and stay future ready. The future of leadership starts with the questions we ask.
Jim Gitney is the founder CEO of Group 50 Consulting, helping manufacturing and distribution companies realise double-digit growth from a mechanical engineering degree followed by an MBA in finance and strategic planning. Jim is author of the book, The Business Hierarchy of Needs. His first episode on Manage Self, Lead Others is episode 95. I saw his article published in LinkedIn, January 2026, titled The AI Disruption: How Artificial Intelligence Will Transform Professional Services and What Consultants Must Do to Survive. Welcome, Jim Gitney. If AI now supplies the strategy, what is it that humans can do to make sure that they become indispensable? Let's get going on that topic. So this article on LinkedIn and on your blog, January 13, 2026, is about how AI has changed the business landscape. And it's like you've put a warning flare in the sky saying, hey, everybody, don't get slow about embracing AI. Make it not only a tool, but make it an indispensable part of your service, and then you'll have value, because we want to add the human element. It's human modified AI, really, if you can make it your co-worker, your thinking tool.
Yeah, I actually call it a hybrid model.
It's a hybrid model, yes.
And every professional service provider does the same thing, whether it's an accountant or it's a lawyer or it's a marketing group. There's a certain amount of discovery that goes on in front of every project. That AI allows you to significantly accelerate that discovery and significantly accelerate the analysis of data so that you can get much more quickly involved in the solution side of your recommendations. Now, AI's gotten good enough to be able to give solutions as well. I took a chart the other day, a stock chart with some of the various measurements on it, or key indicators, and I just put the picture into AI, and it came back to me with an investment strategy for that stock.
It's amazing. And when I published my book, I got a marketing strategy. I ended up with a 28-page marketing strategy for the book. I mean, I didn't have to pay somebody to do that. It was instantaneous. I kept asking questions and it kept coming up with solutions. We had this full marketing plan that I go back to.
So let me give you a couple quick examples that I think will help provide some more definition around this. We're working with companies on implementing boards of advisors. You can go to AI right now and put in a set of questions about your company and ask it to give you recommendations and insights based on the voices of people you admire.
Right.
So, for example, I can take a company situation, I can put data in, I can say, tell me if I had a board of advisors that was made up of Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs, JP Morgan, Peter Drucker,
Yes.
and give me what their combined recommendations would be. AI will go back and it'll look at all of their writings and all their speeches, and it'll take the data and it'll come back with a set of recommendations from their perspective. From the perspective that it gleans from everything they did during their careers. Okay. So we literally can actually create an AI board of advisors for a middle market company significantly improving the ability of the owner of that company to implement new strategies, go into new markets, explore new white space, create product programs, etc. Now, as you were talking about your book, The Marketing Plan, it took you a while to ask a whole series of questions and to
Certainly.
continue to refine the result. That's an example of the AI hybrid model.
Yes.
So, what needs to happen is we as professional service providers need to become adept at leveraging the AI tool so that we can get those kinds of answers back to our clients. We're going to create boards of advisors for middle market companies that are going to be AI based. All right.
Right.
But someone needs to manage it. Someone needs to interface between it and the owner and the company. Now, at some point in time, if you do this properly, the owner will become an adept at manipulating, and I use the word manipulation because that's an important word,
Yes.
manipulating and guiding the output of the AI. And when I say manipulating, it's all about what questions you ask.
Yes, that's right. It's the interactive questions, and you have to
Right.
ask smart questions.
Correct. And so that takes a bit of a skill. So, what's one of the things that Group 50 is going to do? Group 50 will continue to do strategic planning, right?
Right.
But we're going to use these tools to do our market research and our data analysis and financial analysis and those kinds of things. So, do I any longer need a CPA on my staff or a market research expert or people in those fields? Well, the answer is probably, but I need fewer of them,
Right.
right? And as you know, as much as people don't want to hear this, it's the reality of what's coming down the road.
And the people
And
putting
it's
their
going to
head
be
in the
here
sand
sooner rather
saying,
than
I
later.
don't like AI, are not becoming future ready. All of us now that want to have a viable career have to embrace AI so we are future ready and future present.
So, AI is having huge impacts on the legal profession because AI can analyze contracts and come up with, you know, um, issues that it sees inside the contractual language. It can do research, case research on court cases, and provide citings for various types of arguments.
Now
Okay, so we've talked.
you talk about humans being involved in implementation, and as a pro SciADCAR certified change manager, we're often brought in uh, at the point where there's human problems with take up of the incredible new solution that they're rolling out, whether it be a SaaS product or an initiative or a restructure. And and so that almost is a metaphor of how if AI is the project manager that tells you what to do, the human is the one that says, well, hang on, we've got relationships, we've got to motivate people, we have to inform people, we have to actually listen to their fears and calm them down, make them feel important. All of that, all those soft skills become more important than ever. Isn't that right?
Yes, and that's one of the things, key differentiators that many professional service providers are going to need to adapt to. Group 50 consulting has always been about we'll create the recommendations, but for almost every project, end up with the implementation work as well.
Right.
And it's because of our ability to be able to take those recommendations, create the change management model, whether it's business process reengineering, or it's implementation of software, or it's the organization redesign, et cetera. That is our primary skill set, which is going to allow us to stay relevant, but on steroids because now we have some significantly more information at our fingertips,
That's right. Yes,
right?
yes. And the other
So
good thing about AI is you can ask what's missing in a plan too. And they often find what's missing. It's the white space sometimes.
yeah, you're absolutely right, Nina. I mean, So for professional service providers who strictly do analysis or that type of thing, they're the ones who are in the bigger trouble because they don't have the implementation side in
Ah,
their as part of their professional services portfolio.
right. So that really is possibly the new opportunity is to create another arm that's involved in implementation that has organizational psychologists that understand the psychology of people embracing change. Um, yeah,
Yeah. So change management and implementation, if a professional service provider is not doing that and all they're doing is analysis and research, they're really going to struggle to maintain their ability to differentiate themselves in the marketplace because consulting firms like myself and owners of companies and leaders of divisions inside of major corporations and stuff are all going to have those capabilities at their fingertips.
in fact, there's the new role now, a CAIO, which is Chief AI Officer.
Yep.
Can you say what the new role of CAIO will be doing in the near future?
So, I liken it to when I was the head of total quality, global total quality for Black& Decker. My role was, I've got this concept, we've got this training, we've got these tools, and we need to teach everyone in the organization how to use it. And we need to give them not only the training, the change management, but also the business processes to support it and the business tools to support it. AI is exponentially bigger than what I did back in those days, but CAIO is going to be a person who is going to be responsible for creating and implementing the AI strategy for the corporation. They're going to be the person who is going to lay out the areas in the corporation where AI will have the biggest strategic impact in the corporation. And they're going to, if they do it the way I do continuous improvement, is they're going to do pilot programs throughout the corporation that will move the strategic needle. And then that as people see that it's working and the kind of things that it does, they're going to get excited and they'll begin adapting it to other parts of their business. And so, it's interesting that you mentioned CAIO because it's almost exactly the same as implementing a continuous improvement program inside a company,
Yeah.
except you're using technology to do it.
What would you say are some key ideas that maybe we haven't touched on yet that you've included in your article?
Really, really hot topic. If you hold that diagram up again, technology, cobotics will continue becoming a bigger, bigger, and bigger part.
Now, Jim, where I got the word robotics was from this wonderful graphic towards the end of your article. Tell us about the graphic.
Back when I started my career, technology was a really small part of what we did. And today, technology is the backbone of everything. Everything we do is technology driven or influenced by technology or impacted by technology. So, business processes, human um, behavior and activities inside a business are directed by technology. Business processes are managed by technology. And cobotics is that new term that is the combination, the hybrid model of robotics, technology, and people doing things inside a business. And if you want to stay relevant as a professional service provider, what you need to do is figure out what that optimum point is, which is the intersection of people, process, and technology.
Yeah,
Now,
optimal.
given that, if you go to the next one,
Yes.
and this is the one that's a bit controversial because as many of us know, companies are typically set up organizationally in silos. You got the finance group, you have the marketing group, you have the manufacturing group, you have the purchasing group, you have the human resources department, right? But that's not the way businesses work. Businesses work the way, if you hold that graphic up again,
Yeah.
businesses work horizontally. And you
Right.
basically have three major tenets in a business. You have market-facing activities, which are all of the things you do to interact with your customer. Design new products, market them, sell them, distribute them, right? Then you have your technology backbone that is that big green circle in the previous chart that manages everything. And then you have your value added activities. Okay. So even professional service providers have supply chains or value added activities because they take an input, add value, and sell a product or service to a customer. I go as far as believing, and I truly believe this, that there's only going to be three functional leaders that report to the four functional leaders that report to the CEO. There's going to be market facing, chief revenue officer, for example. There's going to be the CIO, who's responsible for the entire technology backbone. And then there's going to be the value added activity person, who typically is perhaps a COO of some sort and a finance person.
I had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn and I hire an energy vampire. But also, they're a literal vampire. And suddenly, my team is spending all their time sharpening wooden stakes and buying bulk silver and rehearsing ancient chants, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant takes insights from over 1 billion professionals to create a short list of the best fits for you. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
And each one of those horizontal processes will have finance people in it, will have HR people, should have HR people in it, and should have people, market research, and those kinds of things, all inside each one of those lateral processes. And so I think that AI and this technology backbone is going to significantly change the way organizations are structured in the future. Yeah, the other thing that we haven't talked about that I think is one of the points I make in the article is that if you're a professional service provider and your 2026 strategic plan does not include how you are going to incorporate AI as a major part of your service offering, or at least a major worker in your service offering, or a foundational piece of your service offering, you're going to struggle in 2026 and 2027 and beyond.
Oh, you know what I did a year ago in all my program outlines, we do soft skills training. I added, to every single topic and tailored to each topic, say business writing, how to improve your emails through using AI. I mean, I added an AI element to every single program outline because I'm getting up to speed with it, and I just think the right people will see, right, we want to work with that trainer because they're AI up to speed.
Literate. They're AI
AI
literate,
literate.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think those are the two really important pieces. And so if you aren't offering, if your service offering does not include the appropriate set of skills, tools, then people are going to begin to view your knowledge as lacking.
Mm.
And number two is if that AI isn't an important foundational tool in your service offering and in your strategic plan, you're going to struggle. Maybe not in 26, but 27 and beyond, I think will be a big deal.
I'm wondering if medicine is an area that where they think that maybe it would be cheating if they went to AI, or is medicine embracing it?
It's already there.
Yeah.
My daughter is a CNIO, Chief Nursing Informatics Officer,
Right.
and they are full steam ahead on the AI train.
Right.
They are deep into it. But as you pointed out earlier, right? There's two extremes, right? You can ignore it or you can rely solely on it. And as you pointed out, and as I have found out, as good as AI is today, it still needs what we like to call the smell test, the sniff test, right? You need to read it. You need to think about it. You need to understand what's missing or what nuanced recommendation might be changed because of asking a question a little bit differently. Yeah, let me just give you one more example before we sign off. There's an interest in using strategy realize the business hierarchy of needs as a business operating system. A client has
Yes.
asked,
Yes.
and they asked if I would write an ebook on a business operating system, using it as a business operating system and supporting tools. I went, sure. So I took my book, the full book, put it into AI, and said, write an ebook for me. And I want the ebook to be focused on using what's in my book as a business operating system and an implementation plan and a set of tools and a set of skills. And what came back was absolutely amazing.
There you go. It was all in the prompt.
It was all in the prompt. Now, I didn't give you the full set of prompts, obviously, for
No.
the sake of time, but I was very specific on what I was looking for and how I wanted it formatted. And it took me about a day to get it tweaked the way I wanted it.
Yes. And so it'll be in the show notes when it's available. We'll put it in the show notes, or just go to your website, which is
group50.com, www.group50.com.
And look, Jim, you're a thinker at a very high level, and your skills will always be required. So thank you for applying it to how we can bring AI more into our knowledge work. So thank you so much for doing what you do, Jim Gitney.
It absolutely is my pleasure. Thank you.
If you would like to explore more of the work of Jim Gitney, head to group50.com or listen to episode 95 of Manage Self Lead Others, or find his book on Amazon. My name is Nina Sunday, and this is the Manage Self Lead Others show. You can listen on all the major podcast apps and watch the video on Spotify and YouTube. And if you are enjoying the show, you can support it by leaving a 5-star review. On Apple Podcasts, just scroll past the episodes to ratings and reviews and tap 5 stars. That simple act helps other leaders discover the show.
Manage Self, Lead Others has launched the book, available on Amazon, paperback, Kindle and audiobook. Not transcripts, but it's Nina Sunday's reflections on the big ideas and insights from each guest, and is adventure calling. If podcasting is the new white paper, then a travel retreat is the new corporate offsite. Short retreats in exotic locations are launching this year, so head to ninasunday.com to express your interest and be part of this learning meets travel chapter for leaders, people managers and entrepreneurs. Plus, looking for a conference speaker or workshop facilitator to up-level your team in Australia or anywhere in the world? Visit brainpowertraining.com.au or ninasunday.com. Until you tune in next time.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.